What's good, everybody? This is Sabro94, brand new deck time once again using new Pokemon, Mega Evolution Pokemon, or Mega Form Pokemon as I call them, from the Mega Evolution set. We looked at Mega Venusaur EX, and now we're going to be looking at the Mega Gardevoir EX. Look at how lovely it is. Majestic, dignified, pretty cool. The actual design as well, it was really nice from the X and Y games. With the dress, that's why I call it a Garda dress. Okay, so you all know if you're actually playing the Pokemon TCG, not every once a year, but even if you do once a year, you would still see Gardevoir being on top. That the Gardevoir EX from Scarlet and Violet has been one of the most dominant Pokemon, if not the most dominant Pokemon. I would only say maybe Dragapult is worse, but in terms of results, Gardevoir is number one, okay? And Gardevoir, it's all about getting those energies from the discard pile, putting damage with its effect on Drifloon and the Jigglypuff, and then you can kill a lot of stuff easily using single price Pokemon. You got the Munkidori as well to put even more damage on your opponent, and you got one hell of an annoying broken deck. In my deck here, we're not gonna utilize any of that. No Jigglypuff, no Drifloon, no Munkidori. The star of the show is literally going to be this new Mega Gardevoir EX. So it has only 2 attacks, both of them 1 energy. Overflowing Wishes basically is gonna let you attach a Psychic energy from your deck to all of your benched Pokemon. They don't even have to be Psychic, you just get a free energy on them. So this is a good attack for sure, and it's an easy way to get a bunch of energy presence, a lot of energy presence actually, immediately. That combos with its attack, boosting it further. But you probably don't want to do this. Leave Gardevoir in the open, and then you do this, and then you get hit. Maybe if your opponent is really passive, and then you really got nothing else going on, you'll do it. But the idea is, we just want to utilize Mega Symphonia. Does 50 damage for each Psychic energy attached to all of your Pokemon. So you guys know the combo, it's obvious, just like with Venusaur. This Gardevoir grabs as many energies from the grave as possible, you get a bunch of them, and then this Gardevoir can literally one-hit KO even the biggest Pokemon. Venusaur, 380, 400 damage, easy. You get enough energies, you get the job done. It is broken. Now we're gonna need some setup, of course, to pull this off. So as it's usually the case, I tried to make this deck as consistently as possible. So it's missing some techs. But we're also running a 2-2 line of Zoroark. I did try, to be honest, running just a bunch of Psychic Pokemon and just trying to favor the new stadium that lets you discard an energy and draw cards for as many of your Psychic Pokemon. But it was very inconsistent. I didn't like it. It just relies on you seeing specific cards together, and it was bullshit, to be honest. This way with Zoroark is much better, in my opinion, and from what I experienced. So I'm doing a 3-2 line with Zoroark. So this guy, he's a big guy too, unlike, the Featherbird and other draw Pokemon you got on your bench. So if your opponent tries to kill him, they're gonna need to put in a little bit more effort. And then you discard a card every turn, draw 2 cards. We can use this to discard energies, discard some of the dead cards I'm going to show you guys later. And then it's a great Pokemon for sure. Good for support, even if, his own deck, I guess people will say it's not good. I mean, I think it can still be good. This thing is, weak to darkness, so if it becomes a problem, you can use Zoroark to kill her. But anyway, got this, and then the rest of the stuff is pretty much, I guess I should look at the Gardevoir line. Do 4 of the routes. I'm doing the new one here that lets you draw a card. If you open with it, you got nothing else going on. At least you can do it as opposed to just doing like 10 for 1 or some shit like the other routes does. The Curlia is going to be this one for sure. More HP than the other one, even though 90 and 100, it's a piss difference, but it's still better. And then the call sign is actually pretty useful as well. If we have to do this, grab 3 Pokemon immediately from the deck, anything. It's just really good. You can use this to get a bunch of Zoroarks, get your Gardevoirs, any Gardevoir. It's very good. So definitely run this. And then, of course, we gotta have at least 2 of the Gardevoir EX that gives you the Psychic Embrace, Energy Acceleration. Man, This card is so cute, you know, so wholesome. It's the family. And it's the whole, like, line, too, from Scarlet and Violet. I don't know why this card is cheap. You know, you would think this would make that set hot and this would be a hot card. But I don't know. Maybe with the reprints. Who knows? Okay, and then the last Pokemon is this Iron Valiant. Pretty much just a basic Psychic Pokemon with 130 HP. So I'm going to explain why this is important. This card has two functions. Function number one is in the off chance we run into Mimikyu or another wall Pokemon, you know, you don't got anything else that can really attack, Iron Valiant can kill those Pokemon, or at least do something with 120 for 3. The other reason is this is a 130 HP basic Psychic Pokemon, and when I use Gardevoir to get a bunch of energies to boost my attack on the field, you don't want to put them on Gardevoir, so then it becomes easier for your opponent to kill. And you really don't want to put them either on Gardevoir EX, so this one becomes much easier for your opponent to just pull and kill. The best thing you can do, and what I did do, if I remember right, when I last used Gardevoir with Zacian V, just when we got Pokemon TCG Live, I think it was like 2 or 3 years ago at this point. That was the last time I used Gardevoir. Back when we had like the celebration set was still around. I mean, you want to put those energies and load them up on a basic Pokemon that's only going to give one prize. So of course your opponent can still do Munkidori, they can still do Dragapult and other bullshit to finish them off, but you get the least risk. And then you can just get them back with Gardevoir. So I looked at all of the different, you know, basic Psychic Pokemon. I wanted to see if there were any with like 140 or 150 HP, but no. You just get this and then Terrakion, but that guy sucks, so I decided I'll use Iron Valiant. You can also use Gemini Laser too if your opponent doesn't use, you know that they're not going to use Munkidori, and you open with this, you might just put an energy on and start doing some cheap damage. You never know, it might matter. You know, 20 for 1 and then 20 on the bench. It's decent, I suppose. So yeah, this is the best option for me. If you want to do the Xerneas that you can put a basic energy on and then you get 3 Psychic Pokemon on the bench. But I really just believe it's unnecessary, especially because I'm running all of the usual Nest Balls and Pofins. I max them out. So let's go ahead and look at the trainers. Max out the Pofins and do 3 level ball. Consistency, once again, I want to get those Zoruas down, at least 2. Want to get those Routses, want to get 1 Valiant down as well. That's going to be your bench, your ideal bench. So you need those basic Pokemon fetchers. These are our cards. The nice thing about Zoroark is once I use those and get what I need, I can just use Zoroark to discard those cards and we're good. I mean, we're also maxing out Vessel and Ultra Ball, so the discard outlets are plentiful here. You don't gotta worry. You're going to get those Psychic energies in the grave, and you're going to get rid of the unnecessary shit, no problem. Making sure the deck is consistent. Run the 4 Rare Candy to get our Gardevoirs out as soon as possible. And then the ace pick of choice is going to be the Prime Catcher. I do not have Boss's Orders in this deck. There's not much space, so that's why I do 1 Prime Catcher, and then I do 1 Wally. So the healing combo with Wally is really good on this, this Gardevoir, to be honest, because you just basically lose, you just put the energy back in hand so you can just reattach it. You don't lose anything. And you get to heal this Pokemon, 360 HP. I mean, that's pretty strong. But, you know, I don't got the space. I don't even have Stadium, as you guys can see. I don't got Boss's Orders. I'm really just trying to make this deck as consistent as possible. But we got to have the necessary pieces too. So that's why I didn't want to not run even... I didn't want to go with no Wallies at all. So just 1, you know. If you want to do... I mean, School Up a Cyclone wouldn't be as good because we don't got like the... what the fuck is it called? We can't do like the Stadium play like with Venusaur. Okay, so maybe you're not going to have a Rare Candy. Maybe, you know, you want to use a bunch of them. It's not like the Hydreigon deck. So instead, I'm just thinking I'll just do Wally and then do Prime Catcher. Switching outlet and pulling card, you can't go wrong with it. I don't even got a Switch, so yeah. And that's it. That's all the item cards. Just pretty simple. Stuff in 3s and 4s. Mostly 4s. Supporter cards are going to be Lily, maxed out 100%. INO, maxed out 100%. And then I do double of the Iris, little discard outlet, and still decent draw. One of the Charons for some straight draw. Gonna go well with Zoroark's straight draw too. And then one of the Petrol as my sort of Skylar to get a rare candy or get another important item, what we need. And, you know, between these cards and if you get Zoroark out, you know, he's gonna do the drawing for you for the most part, and you'll be pretty good to go. Okay. And I don't believe I forgot anything. I mean, I think these supporter cards speak for themselves. You know, Lily, Iono. And then the last thing is just 10 psychic energies. Enough to discard, but I also want to be getting those manual attachments and not getting the, you know, just getting the damage from Gardevoir all the time. Don't miss your manuals. So I think 10 is enough. It's very good indeed. You know, a lot of the times what you want to do, you know, you only need one on the Gardevoir to attack. I put like just one manual on Zoroark too, just to have something spread out, because you can't use Gardevoir to put energies on him. And, you know, if they do decide to get him stuck or something, then you can just put another psychic energy and then you can move him out of the way. So, having enough energies is important for multiple reasons. So I think 10 is a good number. You don't want to go overboard, of course, because Gardevoir can always get them back. But you want to have enough, you know, to see the discard, do the manuals as always, like I've said. I think 10 is a good enough number. Just right. And this is the Gardevoir deck, guys. Man, full art. So good. This is the Gardevoir deck, guys. Awesome deck. I'll show you guys a bunch of matches too, of course. Look forward to it. Subscribe to the channel, leave a like, share the video with your friends, and I'll see you guys next time. What a